Good evening, class. Throughout these 8 weeks, we have had discussions on various topics as it relates to management information system. Our course project ties together all that we have learned as it relates to how projects are managed and how each individual sections or department play their role. Our course project was on the 7 steps in software development lifecycle, also known as SDLC for short. We are to use AI to explain the 7 steps, what are the subphases of each step, and briefly expand on each of the subphases and their importance in contributing to the success of the project. And lastly, list the artifacts that are associated with each step. For this project, I mostly used Microsoft Copilot AI platform. Sometimes I use ChatGPT, but I found that the information are contradicting when I use ChatGPT, so I stuck to Microsoft Copilot. Before I get into how I use AI to generate the best responses to my question, I will list the 7 steps of SDLC that was generated by Microsoft Copilot. Planning phase is the first phase, then you use requirement analysis, design, implementation, testing, deployment, and lastly, maintenance and support. When I used the ChatGPT, it basically gave me others, and there would be maybe planning phase will be there, requirement analysis will be there, but then implementation will be something else. So instead of having contradicting information, I stuck just to one AI platform. I asked the same question to Copilot when searching for the required information, as it's standard across the board for all 7 steps. For the questions I asked are as follows. What are the 7 steps of the software development lifecycle? 2, what are the subphases for example, the planning phase? And 3, what are the artifacts associated with whichever phase it is that I'm searching for? That is how I was able to get the best information needed to complete the course project. And now I will go into a brief description of each phase. Planning phase is the first phase and involves defining the project and defining the stakeholders' requirements, conducting feasibility studies and technical, operational, and conducting feasibility study, technical and operational and financial, and performing a risk assessment. Some of the subphases are project initiation, feasibility study, and resource planning. Articles associated are risk management, project charter, and project plan schedule. For requirement analysis phase, I went through the same 3 steps of asking what when I went to Copilot, I basically asked what are the subphases and what are the artifacts associated with that phase. So requirement analysis phase is where interviews are conducted, surveys and observations on user requirements are also conducted. The data that is collected during this process is pivotal in determining functionality, security, performance, and user needs. Subphase, some of the subphases include requirement analysis and negotiation, requirement specification, and requirement validation. A few of the artifacts are business requirement, stakeholder analysis, data requirement, and data dictionary. The design phase, which is the third step. Again, I did the same. I rinse and repeat the process with Microsoft Copilot. And as I said, I stuck with just Microsoft Copilot while doing this. So the information that I gathered is consistent. So for the design phase is the third step and consists of building the framework, ensuring that the software is user-friendly and performs the task as it was intended to. Databases are created and the system dependencies are identified at this time. Some of the subphases are preliminary high-level design, detailed low-level design, and interface design. Some of the artifacts associated with this phase are system architecture, design specifications, and data dictionary. Next, we go on to implementation. And during this process, this is when the coding of the software takes place. The programming language is determined, whether you're going to be using C++, JavaScript, Python. So they determine which language is best for the required, is best to get the best out of the software. Some of the subphases are code planning, increment coding, debugging, and optimization. The testing phase is where the software is put through robust testing to ensure the quality and reliability of the software. The bugs and errors are identified, and lastly, the end user's requirements are met. Some of the subphases are as followed: unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. Articles associated are testing planning, test execution, and test closure. The deployment phase is when the live software is mass produced and sent out to the end users. It is critical that the software is distributed the way how it was tested. And also to the exact specification. Some of the subphases are project deployment, transferring ownership, post-deployment, and post-deployment reviews. Articles associated with this phase are deployment plan, rollback plan, testing and validation reports. And the final phase in this seven-phase process is the maintenance and support. And this is where the maintenance is continued. The reliability, the security, and the relevance of the software is guaranteed. Bugs are fixed and updates to the software are conducted. Some of the subphases are corrective maintenance, adaptive maintenance, perfective maintenance, and preventive maintenance. Artifacts associated are as followed: bug reports and issue logs, change requests, and performance reports. Throughout the writing of this course project, the use of AI has made it very, very easy and fast. It's basically when you're using Google and you type in certain parameters, the answers that you get, you'll have to sift through just to find exactly what you need. But with Microsoft AI, I found that you type in exactly what you're looking for, and that is exactly what you get. So one main, should I say, main perks is the speed and also the information that is generated. And lastly, I would like to say it was a pleasure interacting with my classmates, and I wish you all the best throughout the rest of the semester and the school year.